Good night, everyone. How you all doing? Night, night. Nice to be back with you. Welcome back to Karen Vibes. Remember to like, before I even start reading, because sometimes I forget, remember to listen, like, subscribe, and share. Alright? So thank you for having me back in your space. Glad to be back. Hope you're all having a good weekend. Despite all that is happening around us, let us take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. And let us send love and light to those who are suffering right now. Those who have lost a loved one or loved ones. Those who are hurting right now. Those who are in trouble right now. Those who are having problems left, right, and center. Let us send them love and light. They always say our lives are like a movie. Life is like a movie. And we have suspense, drama, intrigue, everything. I guess sometimes it can be too much. But whatever you're going through out there, just hang in there. Just hang in there and just remember that maybe it's easier said than maybe really thinking about it, or easier said than done. But just remember that we all have clouds in our sky at one point or another. All have clouds in our sky. After a while, it's like when the rain falls, when it's cloudy and after the rain finishes, that little, like the sun trying to come out, that little silver line around the clouds, yes. So whatever you're going through, the sun will come out soon, or the rainbow will come out soon, or that little silver lining behind the cloud or around the cloud will come out soon. So just take that and have comfort in that. Alright? Okay, so we're gonna get into it. Story time, back to our reading. And we're getting to the end of our book. Yeah, and I'll be going on to something new and exciting. Alright, so we're at chapter 11. So, as usual, you've been following my page, Karen Vibes, which is KarenVibes with an exclamation sign on YouTube. You will, if you've been following me, or if you want to follow me, just go on my page once you have a YouTube account, and you will see my page, and you can follow where I've been reading. Right? So welcome again, and thank you for joining me. Alright, so we're at chapter 11. Let me just turn on the radio. I have the fan. It's a little hot, so I don't sit there. Fan giving that much trouble. Making that much noise. Alright, so we're back at chapter 11. And chapter 11 is the return of Punk Eye. So remember who is Punk Eye, which is the pastor in the district. Alright, so that's where we are, the return of Punk Eye, chapter 11. So we're going to get right into our story. So make sure you grab a drink. Or if you just want to relax or have a snack in the meantime, or with whatever makes you relax and comfortable, and just enjoy me reading to you, okay? Alright, so the return of Punk Eye. It was the month of June. Hold on. Alright, let's begin. It was the month of June. The days of summer had approached. The sun was idling in the western sky when he arrived in the village square. Near the school gate, the shadows were lengthening towards the east. The twisted limbs of the large hog plum tree flung their shades on the ground, in all forms and shapes of weird birds, animals, and fishes. When he made his appearance, this time Punk Eye was not alone. With him he had two other people. All seemed eager to join, or out to do him in his pilgrimage. On this occasion, Punk Eye was far more impressively dressed than on all previous occasions. He was adorned in unusual attire. His head was enwrapped in bone white calico, which was formed into a peak above his forehead. He wore a long white robe with a black cross at the front. A plaid scarf was placed around his neck, extending to his shoulders. Only his shoes were somewhat in contrast, with splattering of mud from the rain the previous day. He began to pound out his rustic melodies on the large rough drum, while a volunteer rattled away at the small one. He and his guest hummed to the tune of familiar hymns. The people started gathering. Punk Eye was always assured of an audience in the different communities that he went. As there were few other means of entertainment, even if the preacher were preaching nonsense, people would go out to attend the meetings. Many people already knew that his interpretation of scripture was outrageously absurd. But there were those who saw his explanation as the only logical interpretation to what was read. So though not in large numbers, Punk Eye had his admirers. News spread quickly around the community that there were other preachers with Punk Eye. This encouraged a large turnout. Punk Eye called the meeting to order and sang a few hymns. He lifted his hands and the singing stopped. You will notice that I am not alone. With me tonight are two guests. I must tell you the truth. I know them for a very long time, but I don't know their right names. Well, how can you know somebody for a very long time? You don't know their right name. Well, I guess it's possible. But I will tell you what everybody calls them. Resting his hands on their shoulders, he declared, this man and woman are wife and husband. Husband and wife, came a correction from the audience. A loud and raucous laughter erupted, then died down. But when the voice of Mr. Battas rang out another round of laughter, everyone had to join in again. And we know that Mr. Battas love laugh. I don't care which comes first. All I know, one is the wife and one is the husband. The name of the husband is Brother Wee. Wait there. Hear them name here. The name of the husband is Brother Wee. The name of the husband is Brother Wee Man. And the wife, Sister Armor Bearer. That's weird. Wee Man is a four-eye man. That means he can see living people as well as the spirits of the dead people. He also has the power to command spirits to do evil as well as good. So you see, He could work guzzle if he desired. But Wee Man is not a guzzle man. Wee Man is a righteous man. He uses his power for good. His faithful wife, armor bearer, dutifully carries out his instructions. I am now calling upon Brother Wee Man to address you in the name of our soon coming King, declared Punk Eye. He greeted the people and began to tell them horrifying and gory tales of his encounter with spirits and how he brought them under control each time. I have been to many communities in Jamaica, he continued, but I have never seen so many wandering ghosts as I see here. Here you know, Tori, come to bump. What a place has Duppy, he exclaimed. Stillness fell upon the gathering. No one spoke. It was already night. How were these people going to get home? I don't know, say the type people start talking Duppy story, especially when we were children. Even, now as adults, some people, until you start hear Duppy story or anything scary. And if you have to go out in the dark or go home, whether you start take second thoughts, you start taking second thoughts or guess and spell what you're going to do. Guess we all have that little fear in us, you know? How were these people going to get home? What? With so many spirits around, he continued. And most of you who come here tonight, I saw Duppy walking behind you. Here now, I'm going to tell the people that see Duppy walking behind them. And most of you who come here tonight, I saw Duppy walking behind you. Some of you, old generation protecting you, and some of you have haunting ghosts tormenting you. After I leave here tonight, every ghost will be silent. I am going to drive all of them back to their graves, to sleep until judgment comes. The only problem that I will have is with 3 coolie duppies that I see following the stout black man wearing the gold watch. So I pick up somebody for the crowd now. All eyes turned towards old Iron Blue. Oh, declared Miss Joplin. It must be Duppy yamming with him, why him can consume so much food. But old Iron Blue remained quiet, unperturbed. Wee Man started talking indiscernible words and rushing here and there among the congregation. You know, some of these pastors behave, carrying on and jiggling up and down and rush from one end of the stage to the other. Rushing here and there among the congregation, cracking a cow cod every now and then. The sharp whack of the cow cod echoed down the valley each time it cracked. When he came close to old Iron Blue, he cracked his whip in rapid succession and spoke more rapidly as he worked himself into a frenzy. I don't know how some of them behave and carry on him in the spirit. Then he fell to the ground where he lay until his wife, armor bearer, bent over him and prayed. He jumped up and declared, all spirits are on their ways to their graves now, but I'm going to warn all of you. Do not look behind you when you're going home. If you do that, all the spirits will come racing back to you. Ye who have an ear, let him hear. I have done my job. The workman is worthy of his meat. I do not charge anyone for it. It is my divine duty. Here you know, here the catch, here the general. But if you are so moved, you may drop what you can afford in my hat, he said, removing his hat from his head and holding it in his hand. The simple country folks, being grateful for such a kind deed, poured in their coins and a few 5-shilling notes. Old Iron Blue gave nothing. Standing near old Iron Blue, the preacher declared, I know that some of you might not have any cash, but if you have any item like a watch or a, but what a pass, this a pass and a easy. Hear him, but hear him now. I know that some of you might not have any cash, but if you have any item like a watch or a gold chain that you want to offer, the servant of the Lord will accept it. So here I tell the audience, if you don't have no cash, anything else you have of value, he will take it. The way him bright. Old Iron Blue pushed his hand containing his watch into his pocket and did not take it out for the remainder of the meeting. I don't blame him. Thank you very much for your generous offering. God bless each and every one of you. Those who gave and those who did not, I now hand over this. Thank you very much for your generous offering. God bless each and every one of you. Those who gave and those who did not. I now hand over back this meeting to the preacher, said wee man, looking into his hat with pleasure all over his face. And that means saying get enough money. Thank you, my dear brother. All of you should be grateful. After I preach my sermon, the meeting will end, as I do not want to weary your patience, advised Punk Eye. He asked a volunteer to read from Jonah chapter 1. After completing verse 17, Punk Eye declared, and Jonah had swallowed up a great fish, and the fish was in the belly of Jonah for 3 days and 3 nights. It is a fish swallowed Jonah, not Jonah swallowed a fish. Someone cried out loudly from the congregation. A raucous outburst of laughter came from another section of the congregation. It was unmistakably the sound of Mr. Butters. And no brother never say a man love laugh. This set alight the entire congregation. As the laughter began to subside, Mr. Butters rattled out again and wailed as he laughed. He hooted 2 times and held his belly with both hands. All the people were forced to continue the laughter. This joke sweetened. When at last the laughter subsided, Punk Eye declared, I am not sure who swallowed who, but one thing I am sure, that some swallowing went on. Hear they? So the pastor said him not sure who swallow who, but all him know, some swallowing go on. I'm not blame him. Another round of laughter rang out with, as expected, Mr. Butter's voice featuring prominently. There was by this time such a general state of disorder among the congregation that Punk Eye found it difficult to maintain order. He tried desperately to regain the attention of the people, but it seemed everyone was doing his own thing. Punk Eye became so angry that he bellowed out, if your people don't listen to me, God will shake up all our now. The laughter that roared far surpassed the previous one. This time, no particular voice stood out as everyone was laughing equally raucously. I don't blame them after I tell people they say they don't tap their knife. God, I go shake them up. The annoyed preacher could do nothing but pack up his belongings and walk away. As soon as he began to pack, the crowd disintegrated, and the people walked away under the cool, starry night. As Punk Eye stepped away, he lifted one foot and declared loudly, "I will brush the dust from off my feet as a testimony against you ungodly people of this district. The wrath of God will be against you. Remember I, the servant of the Lord, warned you." Poor Punk Eye. And then after that, he was on his merry way. Alright, so we're finished chapter 11 and we're going now into chapter 12. So chapter 12, a disgust. A disgust. Casper was a good-spirited, happy-go-lucky man, Casper was a good-spirited, happy-go-lucky man, but a severe irritation had come into his life. As long as he could remember, he had been rearing fowls mainly for their eggs, but sometimes he would kill a cock chicken and have a special treat for his family and friends. The fowls were placed in a coop during the laying season. Those which were not laying were allowed to roam around the yard, scratching for worms and other insects here and there. These yard fowls were permanent features of any normal country home. I want to know that any country home you go, you will see the chicken them up and down or cock or whatever, digging for worms. The cackling of the hens were heard from sunrise to sunset, and the crowing of the roosters at intervals throughout the day and night. Each morning, Casper would collect his eggs and store them away for sale or for the household use. One morning, he came to collect his eggs, but all he saw were eggshells. He assumed that some creature had gone before him. But was it a dog or a cat or a mongoose? He was quite uncertain. He was of the opinion that the creature would return, so he spent the rest of the morning repairing the coop. He enclosed the space between the door and the opposite post so that no animal could enter. He examined the mesh to see if everywhere was in proper condition. He was satisfied that all was correct. Early the following morning, as he opened his door and looked towards the coop, some 3 chains away, he saw a dog dashing away from the far side. "That dog looks like old Iron Blue's dog," he grumbled. "Anyway, I am not concerned because no dog can enter my coop." A few minutes passed before he went to collect his eggs and feed his fowls. Surprise covered his face as he stared in disbelief at the gaping hole torn through the mesh. Every egg was eaten, and his favorite laying hen, Big J, lay flat, apparently dead. Oh my. On close examination, he discovered that the hen's head was almost bitten off. He was outraged. He fully made up his mind that the dog he glimpsed was in fact Bulrush, and he was going to demand payment from old Iron Blue. You know. And we all know the type of person old Iron Blue is. Let us see what happened. He came to old Iron Blue's gate and called. Bulrush rushed out and began to snarl and snap at him in a most vicious manner. He kicked at the dog, but it evaded and tried to attack from behind. He spun and kicked at the attacking dog again. It evaded again and darted in from another angle. Casper found himself kicking in a mad, frantic succession without a single blow finding its mark. Old Iron Blue appeared and shouted, "Bulrush! Bulrush!" The dog ceased its attack and darted away. "Why have you been attacking my dog like that?" demanded Old Iron Blue, looking angrily at Casper. "I saw you kicking viciously at my dog. If Bulrush were not skillful, you would have killed the poor dog. You are a wicked and heartless man. If you had kicked my dog, I would kick you back. And where are you going with that dead fowl? Are you becoming John Crow or some other scavenger?" So these are the things she's telling him. Sorry, these are the things Old Iron Blue is telling Casper. Next time I see you with the next time I see you with a dead donkey carrying on your head. Sorry, let me just read back. "And where are you going with that dead fowl? Are you becoming John Crow or some other scavenger? Next time I might see you with a big dead donkey carrying on your head. You do interesting things. No one knows what you will do next." Casper was breathing heavily as he tried to recover from the frightening experience. "Don't you see that it is your dog nearly bite me up?" He paused between words to catch breath. No. It was you attacking my dog by kicking viciously at it. Good thing that I trained Bulrush to defend himself. Else you would have damaged a poor, dumb animal. Blazed the angry Old Iron Blue. So look at Casper. So that's Casper and Old Iron Blue. Casper showing Old Iron Blue the dead chicken, dead fowl. Let me tell you the truth. I'd rather a man kick me than my dog. You're perhaps making a joke. I have some serious matter to talk to you about. Your dog has broken into my coop. It ate all my eggs and killed this my favorite hen, stated Casper in increasing anger from Old Iron Blue's irritation. Not my dog, not my dog, not my dog. Bulrush is a righteous dog. That dog is almost as trustworthy and reliable as Pastor Jennings. Say, I compare the dog with Pastor Jennings. My dog does not engage in wrongdoing, boasted Old Iron Blue. If God keeps dogs in heaven, the soul of my dog will go straight to heaven. He is a wicked, bad-minded dog. One day he is going to meet his death. Pay me for my eggs now. Pay me for my eggs and fowl now, demanded Casper, in such a fury that he began to stutter. If you catch a dog and bring it to me, then I will pay you for all the eggs and also your fowl, promised Old Iron Blue. And anyone kills my dog or hurt him will have to answer to me though. I hope you will pay as you say, replied Casper, walking away quarreling. His name His name is dog and my name is man. I must find a way to stop him. Bulrush frequently walked to the shop in the village square to see what he could get. Sometimes the shopkeeper tossed small cuttings of saltfish or bits of bread or bulla to him. Visitors to the shop tossed bits and ends to him as well. Nearly every day, Mas Agabus turned up near midday. His order was so predictable, but the shopkeeper had no need to ask him what he required. His purchase consisted of 3 bullas and a half pound of sugar. As soon as he was served, he took a butter pan and a civil orange from his side bag. The shopkeeper supplied water. He made his lemonade, leaned on the counter, slowly biting his bullas and drinking from the pan. Sometimes Bulrush turned up and kept on looking at him. He would cut his eyes at the dog turning away his face. He was careful not to make a crumb drop to the floor that the dog could get. Can you imagine? That's so not nice. Alright, so we read chapter 11 and we went into started reading chapter 12. So I'm going to stop right here. Alright, so I'm going to stop there for tonight. Yeah, we're coming to the end of it. I'm looking forward to your comments after I finish the story. At the end, I'm going to be looking forward to you. At the end of the book, I'll be looking forward to your comments and, just overall what you thought about this story that we read. Alright, so I'm going to leave it there for now. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for having me into your space. And thank you for coming into my space. Thank you so much. Alright, so you all take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of the evening, the rest of the night. And I will see you guys again tomorrow. I'll be on again tomorrow. Probably a little early on in the day than now. So I'll be on again tomorrow. And back with you guys. So please remember, as I said before at the beginning, please remember to not like. First, please remember to listen, then like, then subscribe and share. Alright, at Karen Vibes with an exclamation sign on YouTube. Alright, so thank you much for listening. Enjoy the rest of the night and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Night night. Bye.